It only takes one action to determine what direction your life will go in. And every action, no matter how destructive or uplifting it may be, starts with one single thought. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I will be discussing our thoughts, how much they impact our day-to-day life, and how we can change them. So let's get on to the video. Our thoughts have more influence on our day-to-day life than we originally may have thought. The way you think about it actually kind of makes sense. For example, if someone gives you a plate of Brussels sprouts. Now for me, I really hate Brussels sprouts. So when I get offered a plate of Brussels sprouts, my initial instinct is to push away the plate and say no thank you. But actually, when you think about it, something else happens before the action. In my case, in my mind, I think about Brussels sprouts and the first reaction is, oh my god, I hate Brussels sprouts. So that thought process that I already know that I hate them makes it that I make the action, no thank you. That is the basic thought process that your mind goes through before an action. Of course, sometimes it happens that we get affected by group pressure. When this happens, your mind goes into a dialogue with itself, having a little bit of a debate on which side we should choose. That way, you can decide to actually take a bite and ignore the initial thought you had of not eating. Let me give you a little bit information about our thoughts. So every human, every single one of us, every day has up to 60,000 thoughts. 80% of those thoughts are repetitive. So they're thoughts you had yesterday, the day before, and maybe even last year. Now of course it is impossible for us to hear every single thought we have. If we did, we wouldn't be able to leave our beds in the morning. So knowing this, it is not a really big surprise that people get depressed really fast. Especially during the winter times, when the leaves are falling, the days are short, and the cold, sometimes rainy weather isn't helping to lift your mood. Of course, sometimes it also happens that you wake up, you're like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to feel like this. I'm done. I just want to be happy and get it over with. So will people have this feeling of not wanting to feel like this anymore? Most of the times though, it gets worse. And why it gets worse is because we tend to focus on what we don't want. When we focus on what we don't want, it grows and becomes bigger, thus you feeling even worse. You can compare this feeling really well with a bully in school. Everyone remembers they have seen someone or been bullied by someone, and they know the more attention you give to the bully, the worse it's gonna get. Because when you give it attention, you're giving away your power over yourself to them. It's the same with your thoughts. When you give attention to the thoughts you don't want, the more power you're gonna give it and the more it will grow in your head. And so becomes a bigger part in your life, more important. So you might think, okay, that sucks, but what do I do about it? The first thing you need to remember is that you are not your thoughts. You just have them. For example, I think most of us have ever been on a ledge somewhere, maybe on a hill or a cliff, or maybe even on a bridge. Looking down and thinking to yourself, if I jump right now, I'll be so dead. Well, just that thought isn't making you suicidal. But when you focus on that thought, you make it bigger and more important, to a point where you're actually gonna think to yourself, am I suicidal? Do I want to jump off this edge? So the more attention you give it, the more important it becomes in your life and the bigger it will grow. But even though you are not your thoughts and you just have them, you actually can influence the way you think and choose what to give your attention to. But what now if you don't have any thoughts that you want to give your attention to? You don't have any good thoughts that you'd like to grow or be stronger or more important in your life. So let me tell you a little secret about the system of our thoughts. You can actually make new good thoughts and plant them in your head every day. So what I want you to do is sit down, grab a piece of pen and paper and just write down a couple of thoughts that you would like to have. So every day, a couple of times a day, maybe during your lunch break or before you go to bed, make sure you make some time to read down your list. Now it's very important when you do read out your list, you really need to try to feel the emotion that's within these words. Now if you've done this for a couple of days, then you will notice that you will actually feel a little bit better. As time moves on, the thoughts you plant in your head will become one of the thoughts in your 80% repetitive thoughts. And when this happens, you don't have to put that much effort into it anymore. You will actually think it during the day. And you will be able to catch yourself thinking this without you instructing your mind to do so. Now when this happens, you can move on to new words, new compliments, new lines that you would like to hear on a daily basis. For instance, when you're driving your car and someone cuts you off. Now I know your first reaction will be to yell at them and try to get back at them, maybe even cut them off yourself. If something like this ever happens to you, then you will know that for the entire day or a good couple of hours, you will still have this negative energy of this thing that happened to you. So another solution, and I know it's really hard, is to take a deep breath and just think to yourself, maybe this guy just had a bad day. Within a couple of minutes, your agitation against this person will have flattened down to just like he was a bit of an and you will be able to continue your day like nothing happened. Because if you do get yourself agitated because of what this person does, then you are allowing him to influence your vibe for the entire day just because of his actions. Now I do have to say that it is not the goal at all to become 100% happy thoughts every day, all day. For once, it's impossible. Second, if you were, it would be kind of creepy. The goal here is to find a good balance between the two. The perfect balance would be 51% empowering thoughts and 49% unempowering thoughts. Because what happens when you reach this goal is that your life is going to change completely. The way you think about yourself, about the world, how the people around you react to you, and overall, you might not believe me, but good things will come to you when you reach this point. So when you do reach this point, you will feel more confident in your own skin, around other people. You will be able to focus on the beautiful things in life, even though life sucks at the moment. And of course, you will be able to handle situations way differently than you did beforehand, in a better, constructive way, where you can actually grow from it, learn from it, and become a more confident person with yourself. And that will be the exact same moment when you reach the point of balance and think to yourself, how much power do my thoughts have on my own life? But also on how you accomplish your goals. Because in the end, it takes one action to determine the rest of your life. And every action, no matter how uplifting or destructive it may be, starts with one single thought. So you better make it a good one. Hey everyone, I hope you liked that video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have an awesome day, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!